be talking about pop-ups, how to pop up. Got some notes so I can stay on track. Try to do this as fast as I can because I want to make sure I cover everything. Pop-up is the slang or term for just standing up on your surfboard. You might already know that. And it's one of the most important things you have to learn if you want to be able to surf. Practice in your living room, at the gym, on the beach, most importantly in the ocean, but you have to practice on the beach first, and then as you get better, you go out in the ocean. Typically within the same hour, you get a surf lesson, which is very good to do. Friend or pay for it, or have a family member show you how to pop up, or you can teach yourself. But if you're having issue with the pop up, make sure you figure out what you're doing wrong, because the longer you take to learn the pop up, the longer it's going to take to learn how to surf. If you can't stand up on your surfboard properly, you're going to, one, waste time learning how to surf, and two, it's going to take longer to get better at surfing. Because if you can't get to your feet and get into a surf stance, then you can't surf the wave. And doing the wrong kind of pop-up will take too much time, because when you catch a wave, the wave is just like, boom, and it just goes. It's just, as soon as you paddle, you need to be up on your feet. If you're taking your time, the wave is not stopping for you. The wave keeps going and going and going. So the longer you take to get to your feet and get ready to ride the wave, that wave is going without you. So the better your pop-up, the smoother, faster your pop-up, then you can start to learn how to turn and go this way and go that way, and that's when you start having fun. But in the beginning, don't worry about going left or right or this way or that way. Just pop up and get to your feet. And a lot of surfers do this. Don't do that. You need to stand like you're standing on a skateboard, or stand like you're in a fighter position, or like a fighter, a boxer, karate, kung fu. You know, they face like that, right? Same thing with a skateboard. You know, you skate like that. If you stand with your right leg forward, stand like this. Surf stance, very important. You don't stand like this. You can't turn your board like that once you begin to get the pop up down, and you start to want to turn left and right after you get comfortable. You have to get comfortable with your pop up. Then you'll get comfortable with relax now. Because in the beginning, you're not going to be that relaxed, because it's just so much happening, the power of the wave. And if you try to turn your board, stand like this, because standing like that means you don't have good surf balance, you don't have good surf stance. And in the beginning, it's okay, but you want to break that habit as soon as possible, or try never to even do it. Because let's say you want to turn, you have no balance. So you want to turn, you have no balance. One foot. Your feet shouldn't be like this. One foot like this, if your left hand forward. If your right foot forward, one foot like that. So one foot should be at a 45-degree angle. The other one should be at a 90-degree angle. So I'm about to go into the pop-ups. Also, once you learn how to pop up, as you're learning how to pop up and as you get better at pop up, always ask yourself, could you have done something better? Did you do it smooth enough? When you were doing it, did you make a couple mistakes that made you get up too slow? At some point, and it happened for me and it happens for everybody, once you get good, you don't even think about it. Before you know it, you're just on your feet. You're just like, paddle, and you're on your feet. You're surfing. You don't even remember popping up, because it's one of the most important things, but it's one of the most basic things. And once you get it down, you don't even think about doing it. Just instinct. Like if somebody pushes you, like, man, get back, man, leave me alone. You just throw your hands up. Even if you're not a fighter, you still jump back like, what? Man, no, man. Even if you don't want to fight, you're like, no, I don't want to fight. Or you're like, yeah, let's fight. Come on, let's go. So, you just get to your feet, So a couple of notes here. Ocean safety, learn how to swim. Make sure you're comfortable in the ocean. Get swim lessons at a pool. If you can't comfortably swim in the deep end of your swimming pool, then you're more likely not ready for the ocean, because the ocean will always be at your waist or your chest when you're catching waves that you can actually surf and learn how to surf. So if you're not comfortable, get comfortable. Surf lessons will be the fastest way to learn. When I started surfing, I grew up bodyboarding in the summers in California. I got really good at catching waves. So when I started learning how to surf, I caught the waves no problem, but my technique was wrong. So when I went to pop up, I didn't know how to pull my legs to my chest. Both your legs should be coming towards your chest, and then you rotate over and land. I'll show you guys in a second. Me, I stood up like this, and I would fall, so I'd pop up, which I don't remember if I was doing it correctly. I would land with both feet together, and then I'd fall, because I didn't know how to open my legs up and get down and hold my hands out and all that stuff. So that's why you have to develop a good surf stance. Get a surf skate, a smooth star, carver, get a regular skateboard, loosen up your trucks, and get your surf stance. Because once you start popping up, remember, you don't want to stand like this. You want to get down, and you don't have to be all low, but sometimes you're going to be high, medium, and sometimes you're going to be low. You have to get used to being in the proper stance so you can control your board. Because when you stand like this, you can turn your board. You can turn your board because your feet don't move. You put that weight into your hips, into your legs, and it moves the board. All right, so cover surf stance, ocean safety, proper technique. Last thing before I show the pop-up is right side surfboard. Right there's if you're a beginner, good. If you're short, if you're average height, get a surf lesson or go to your surf shop, local surf shop. 8 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot. I'm almost 5'9", so 9 foot was good for me. But you could be 6 foot, and a 9 foot will be good for you. But if you're 5 foot, guy or girl, a 9 foot probably will be too long. You'll probably be better on an 8 foot or 7 foot, but nothing shorter. If you're a beginner surfer, your board should be a soft top, 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot. What I did is I bought a 9 over there, got good at the 9. I still kind of sucked at it, so I rented a 10 foot. I rented a 10 foot surfboard for a month, once a week, and then I went back to the 9 foot. I still used the 9 foot the same week, but everybody has their own path to getting good at surfing. What I did was rented the 10, I owned a 9, got good at 9, went to 8, I had a big gravy soft top wave bandit, got good at that. I moved down to 6'6", the orange board, and then I moved down to 6'0", the pink board, and then I used the 5'6". I'm heavy and I'm big, so it doesn't always work for me to ride a board that small. And then I'm switching over now to a 7'6". Shout out to Wobo Surf Shop in North Carolina. Owner, I won this at a Christmas party through the Eastern Surfing Association down in North Carolina, down there. And I was gifted this board, and I transitioned with this board to actual real hard board. And my next board is a 6'10" twin fin fish. And then I'm getting some other boards that are going to help my progression along the way. I want to get a 6'8" from Mike Dulce and a 6'6" from Coastal Edge. So now I'll be building an actual real hard board quicker so that I can move over to real boards. But my journey, I wanted to get good at every single size surfboard so I could feel comfortable. And so when I moved over to a real surfboard, I knew how to surf. A lot of people try to learn how to surf on a real surfboard, and then you end up messing it up, you jack it up, and it's hard. When it hits you, it's gonna hurt. I got hit plenty of times with my 9 foot and this 8 foot. It still hurt, but it didn't hurt as bad. And most importantly, you don't know how to surf yet, and you don't know how to take care of your equipment. You're gonna be jumping off a lot and falling a lot. So you don't wanna fall into something that's hard. It's gonna hurt, and you don't wanna damage your equipment either. So it's better to learn how to surf, get good, and then you take care of your equipment, and it lasts you longer. And then also, starting on a bigger board, it gives you more room to move around, make mistakes. Because you see this black line in the middle of the board? In the middle of the board, it's called the center line. Every board has it, the stringer center line. You want to stay on it. You don't want to be on the edge or too much on the side. Not 1 foot here and 1 foot on the other side. Both feet need to be on that thing, just like like I said, 145, one right angle. 145, one right angle. All right, so that's all that. And starting on the right side surfboard will allow you to catch more waves because it's wider, it's thicker, and it's longer. That allows you as a beginner to catch more waves. Wider, thicker, and it's longer. That big board will allow you to catch more waves, have more fun, and it will give you, most importantly, more balance. And it's easier to paddle for the wave because you get more glide and more speed. Because you get more speed, you glide faster, you can catch the wave easier. Smaller boards, you have to paddle harder, and you have to be in more shape, and you have to have your pop-up, like, I won't say perfect, but it has to be very, very good, or you're not going to be able to stand up on a surfboard. With a longer board, you can use your toes and your feet to get up. But with the shorter boards, your feet are going to hang, this is your feet's going to hang off the back. So you have no place to put your feet on the board. When you're in the long board, you can put your feet and use your feet to get up. But in the shorter board, your knees, your shins, or your ankles are all going to hang off the board. So you have to understand how to pop up to be able to pop up. So I'm going to go into the different pop-ups and show you guys. So the first pop-up I'm going to show is a step through. I saw Kelly Slater do this on, I think the show was, he was being interviewed by a name called Graham. If you go Kelly Slater, Graham interview, he was showing how to pop up. I call it the step through because as you put your hands on the board, you're gonna step through and then turn. So you're gonna put your hands on the board, one leg is gonna be planted, and you're gonna step through, turn. All right, that's the step through. When you're putting your legs on the back of the board, you don't want it over the board. You don't want it right at the edge. You don't want it right at the edge. You don't want it over. You don't want it right at the edge. You want it to be a little bit. So if this is the back of the board, you want it to be a few inches from the back, because when you stand up, if it's right on the edge, you're going to be wiggly and fall. So if you bring it up a few inches, it'll give you more balance for standing up, because the very back of the board is how you turn the board. And if you land on the back, you're going to be wobbly, because that's where you turn the board. It's like jumping on the gas of a car and accelerating. You don't want to accelerate, but in this time you're going to make the board turn, and you don't want that. You want to get stable, then move back if you need to turn. Here's the step through. When you pop up, I'm going to come up with your chest, extend your arms all the way, plant your toes, and then step through. You don't want to have a low chest, and when you're paddling, you want to have your chest up. Paddle, paddle. You don't want to be down, because remember, you're trying to get up. If all your energy is down towards the board, you're going to make the board fall over or fall over. You don't want to lean to one side or the other. All that's going to make the board move or make you fall over. You want to stay in the middle. Remember, the ocean is just doing all this washing machine all over the place. So you want to keep all your body over the board and stable, and pop up stable, and land stable with balance, arms out, bend your knees, whatever you have to do so you don't fall. All right. So you're paddling, glide, make sure your board's moving, you feel the board moving up. You don't want to, you want to put some purpose into it and be fast. And here's the way you never want to stand up. You don't want to stand up like that. It takes too long, you lose your balance, and as you get better at surfing, you're going to get bigger and bigger waves. You don't have time to do all that. So here's the step through. Plant your toes, step through. Step through. Okay? One more time, step through. Plant your toes. See, I'm leaned over. When you first pop up, you're gonna be bent over. Drop your knees, stand up. Because I have the board at an angle so I don't mess up the fins and the carpet, but that's also how you gotta stand up. Because the wave is gonna lift the board up like this. The wave is gonna hit the board and make it tilt, so you can fall over, all right? So you're gonna be bent over a little bit, but you're gonna drop your hips. Next one is gonna be, called it, let me see, chicken wing. You're gonna put your hands back, bring either your left leg or right leg, and you're gonna use that leg pushing your toes into the board, and then you're gonna step through like the first one. When you do that, don't lean too much to one side or the other, because you're gonna fall over. But you wanna paddle, 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 glide. Okay, the wave is pushing me, the wave's pushing me. When you pop up, you don't want your hands out. You want them in. Because if you're like this, that's your elbows are hanging out, your arms and shoulders are hanging out. All that can make you fall off your board. So when you go to pop up, paddle, paddle, make sure the wave is pushing your board. Don't stand up unless you feel your board moving. If you don't feel your board moving, then you didn't catch the wave. The wave is going without you. So you want to paddle, paddle, you feel the wave gliding, boom, push out, chest up. Make sure you feel good and comfortable, then pop up. Now, what was I gonna say? If you pop up like this, it's just harder to control the board and have balance. You can paddle like this, 1, 2, put one arm down, put the other arm down, or you can paddle, paddle, and me, I just paddle, paddle, leave one arm out, bring the other arm out, okay, I'm gliding, boom, pop up. So this one is like a triangle or a chicken wing, but you're still gonna step forward like the first one. And then you do it with the other side. I'm not on that side because that's not my side, but I'll do it to show you guys. That's not my stance. Alright, that's not my good stance, so I don't do that side. That's not my natural stance. Two more. Getting a little hot. Turn off my AC so you guys can hear me. It's like December 17th today, maybe 18th. I think it's the 17th. Turn off the AC so you guys can hear me because there's no noise outside. Just trying to do this video real quick because my apartment building's a little loud. So my last two, this is the one I started doing. It's my favorite one. I call it the jump through. You put both your feet in the board. Put both your feet in the board, and you literally keep your hands down, and you bring your knees towards your chest. And as you're bringing your knees towards your chest, you rotate your hips, and then both your legs land at the same time, or your back leg and then your front leg. I call that the jump through. That one's good because the last one is what you will use if you decide to become a shortboard surfer. Because remember, when you learn how to shortboard, you can't use your feet. Here goes why. See, this board's 5'6". If I'm laying on this board, I'm about right here. So you see, if I'm right here, you see how my knees are barely, look, my knee is right there. So you can't use your feet, you can't use your toes. That's why you have to get good at popping up and learning the best pop up for you, because if you do want to ride a shortboard, you're not going to be able to use your toes at some point, because some shortboards, you're going to be down here on your shin, some you're going to be at your ankle, a lot of times you're going to be at your lower shin, at your knee, and sometimes even your thigh, depending on how short you go, or how tall you are. So that's what I gotta see if I fix that. Dang it. 1 second, guys. Alright, still good to go. Trying to finish this video for you guys. Sorry about that. Hopefully this works. Alright, there we go. So last one is the jump through. Alright. I'm not gonna go back as far as I should because you can see the board sliding. Again, I don't want the fins to get messed up in the carpet because I'm not on the beach or somewhere soft like grass. I want to break the fins. Same thing, paddle, paddle. Put your toes in the board. You don't have to get up right away. You can just get comfortable. Oh man, I'm moving, I'm moving. Oh yeah. And then come up. If you're not ready, you can stay down, but don't be out here. Bring your elbows in. If you're out here, it'd be easy to fall over. You don't want to be out here, out here. Legs together, elbows back. The sooner you get here, the faster you'll be ready to get popped up. So the sooner everything you do smoother and faster, you're gonna get up. You don't want to waste energy sitting here. Because let's say I go like this. You're wasting energy. As soon as you press up, bam, boom, pop up. The smoother you get through the movement, the faster you can start surfing. So you don't want to waste energy holding anything. So as soon as you feel the board going, press up, jump through. It's better to fall off and make a couple mistakes than to sit there and take too long. Because when you're wasting energy, all that is wasting energy and you're wasting time. Just, if you fall, you fall. Keep practicing till you get it and then you'll get better. But if you waste that time, you could, remember, the wave is gonna move without you. So you gotta stay moving. All right, jump through. Paddle, paddle, paddle. See how fast I did that? Boom. One more time. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Okay, the wave's moving. Ready to pop up. Jump through. So the next one, I'm literally doing the same thing, but I'm not using my toes. That's because of the board that I showed you. You can't use your toes. You see, I'm pulling my legs, rotating my hips, back leg first, front leg second. Or remember, back leg, front leg, or both at the same time. Back leg, front leg, or both at the same time. You don't want to land with the front leg first, back off balance. You don't want to be like that. So as soon as your back touches, get down. Even if your back hits first, you still want to get down, because then your front leg will come down right behind it. So, but as you get better, they both should land at the same time, or 1, 2. It shouldn't be like 1, 2. It shouldn't be 1, 2. It should be 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 1, 1. All right, the same 1, 2, or at the same time. The last one, no toes. And that's again, because as I got better at the longer boards, to save time, I didn't even think about it anymore. I didn't even need to use my toes because the movement became so natural. You don't need your toes after you're good at pressing and pulling, because now the weight's on your thighs. And as you're in the movement, your toes and your thighs are on the board. So when you lift your toes up, your thighs are still there. And that's how shortboarders learn to do what I call explosive pop-up. If you watch World Surf League, if you watch any videos with your favorite surfers, they're all just explosive jumping up. You know, everyone has their preference. That's why you have to figure out what's good for you. Paddle, paddle, paddle. No feet, no feet. Paddle, paddle, paddle. I haven't done it in a while. I haven't been surfing in a month. I'm rehabbing an injury. So one more time, paddle, 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 pull through, rotate hips, land. And that's pop-ups. Once you get that down, then you can learn how to turn, go up high, turn, move around, and really start having fun. But you gotta get the pop-ups down. Have fun surfing, don't give up. And if you wanna show some channel support, you can Cash App me, Kyle Watts, or Kyle Watts Surfing on Cash App. Just give you guys a free surf lesson. No obligations, but you know, if you want to hook me up, I appreciate you. So last pop-up, explosive pop-up. wave has me. I'm gliding. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Alright guys, Shaka. Kyle Watt Surfing, Cash App. You just got a free surf lesson. Appreciate you.